This is Apex and the Civil War, History Under Your Nose. During the Civil War, Apex wasn't a town. It was an area known as Log Pond, which held various different farms in a growing community. The first known settlers in Log Pond came in 1775. Still then, most of modern-day Apex was untouched land until Patrick Dowd came to Log Pond. Dowd was an extremely influential minister within the Southern Baptist Church. He was a minister at Salem Baptist Church, Mount Pisgah Church, Wake Forest, and many more. His arrival was not only significant within the Southern Baptist Church, it was also significant to the Log Pond area, bringing in citizens and aiding the growth of the soon-to-be town Apex. Dowd purchased over 1,600 acres of land, the entire northeast quadrant of modern-day Apex, spanning from McGregor all the way to villages of Apex.
Isn't it crazy? Once, all of this was owned by one man, Patrick Dowd.
He settled down and developed a plantation, calling it Shepherd's Vineyard. I did some digging and was able to track down the remnants of his house, one of the first houses in Apex. Located off the side of Old Raleigh Road, his house gives us a glimpse of what life would have looked like in the early to late 1800s. Built in 1830, Dowd's Shepherd's Vineyard house stood tall for 158 years and through the Civil War. Only a few miles away was the Battle of Morrisville, the last battle of the Civil War. Due to its then remote location, Shepherd's Vineyard was able to avoid the path of Sherman's destructive march to the sea.
I am now standing at the remnants of Patrick Dowd's house. Here is where Patrick Dowd would be sitting by his fireplace, hearing shots ring from Civil War battles nearby.
Unfortunately, due to safety concerns, the Cary Fire Department burned down the house in 1988 and left it in ruins.
This is an original brick from the foundation of the house built in 1830.
Although Shepherd's Vineyard was spared from Sherman's destruction, the Salem, Green Level, and Olive Chapel areas were not. When the Union soldiers came through Log Pond, they pillaged and stole all that they could, sending the citizens of Log Pond into a state of anticipation and fear. I would like to share with you some first-hand accounts and real-life stories from citizens remembering what it was like to live in Apex during the Civil War. Roy Cook recalls, "Grandmother said that when the soldiers came through, she hid in the closet." Nolan Cook states, "My grandmother, Mary Frances Martin Cook, and two of her brothers loaded 2 wagons with all the food and other possessions they could get on there. The brothers took the wagon into the low ground down in the woods. They stayed there for several weeks in hiding, and the Yankees never found them. When the Yankees came to the house, they found a cheese hook full of butter beans and threw it to the ground. I guess they didn't like butter beans." Mama also said that when the Yankee soldiers came riding by, it sounded like Christmas sleighs because they had so many silver teapots and other items tied to their horses. They had so much stuff in their saddlebacks there wasn't room for anything else, so they tied it to their horses. Although the Union soldiers in General Sherman's army undoubtedly left a devastating effect on the already poor citizens of Log Pond, there were a few pleasant interactions with the army. Ann Lydia Olive states, "When Sherman's army came to the neighborhood, stealing and ransacking everywhere, Uncle Young, then about 10 years old, disappeared one day. Great-great-grandmother Eliza Jane Hunter Utley was weeping and wailing, 'My baby Young, he's gone, the Yankees have got him.' Then, to the joy of all, here came a Yankee soldier leading a mule with Uncle Young upon his back. Uncle Young had run away to see the Yankee camp and was brought home riding a mule. They gave him the mule, a prized possession at the time and undoubtedly stolen from someone else." When the people of Log Pond weren't busy farming, fighting in the war, or hiding from the Yankees, They found themselves at the new ruined tavern, which still stands today on the corner of NC 751 and US 64. When the war ended in 1865, Lock Pond rejoiced, knowing they would no longer have to live in fear. The railroad which Apex is built upon, which was started in 1853 but was delayed by the Civil War, was finally finished in 1869. After that, Log Pond grew and grew until it finally became a town known as Apex in 1873. Brought to you by Sydney Hope Chapel.